If you're into video production or film production, then this video, you probably won't learn anything new. For those of you who don't, my documentary, the Black Ice, White Sand, about Asisela, one Fijian fella in the 1800s who found his way all the way up north in the Northwest Territories of Canada. The documentary right now, a lot of people in the comments have been like, oh, where can I watch this? When can I watch this? Is it out yet? Not so fast. So the reason why I announced the documentary, even though it is not completed, is because I wanted you, fellow audience, to come along with me as I make the documentary. Come with me, that whole thing. I will be showing you behind the scenes of what goes into making this documentary, because I want you guys to really appreciate the amount of effort that goes into making documentaries or making films in general. Just a brief update for you guys who are not familiar with how film production goes. In general, there are 3 steps in making a film, or in this case, a documentary film. The first step is pre-production, and in pre-production, that's sort of when you write the script, you figure out who's on the crew, get a producer who can help manage the top-level stuff, figure out your story, sort of like the prep before the actual shoot. This is in pre-production, this is where you try and get things correct before you actually turn on the camera and start shooting. And then the second phase is production, and production is the phase that you see, those behind the scenes photos of movie productions where they have the camera, they have the actors, and they have the set and production. It's the same thing for documentaries. In this case, you have the camera and you go out and shoot your subject, where the story happens, and hopefully by this time you have a plan, because in pre-production you sort of put together a plan of how you're going to make the documentary. And then once you've shot all the necessary material, the final phase of production is called post-production. So post-production is when you gather all the material that you shot and you sit down and you work. You build it all together, and you build together something that resembles a finished movie. I'm being really broad and general here, because there's a whole lot of mini steps in between, and there's a whole lot of things that are happening in each phase of production. But in general, that's sort of like the overview of how a film is made. And so with regards to this production, with regards to this documentary, Black Ice, White Sand, if you want to be technical, we are in the phase before pre-production, which is called early development. And in early development, like I had mentioned in pre-production, where you kind of find the story, in early development, you're really doing all the research. You're reaching out to your subject and asking them, hey, we want to make a documentary, is this cool? And also just doing a lot of internet searches and a lot of emails. So where we are right now at this stage for this production of Black Ice, White Sand, the documentary, is, if I can remember, early development. Right, we're in early development right now, where we have what sort of looks like a story, and we have our subject, the descendant of the Asisela Rombanakandavu. His name is Frank Asisela Rombanakandavu. And now we're in the process of sort of figuring out our budget, figuring out additional producers who can make things happen in different countries, as well as sort of building rapport with Frank, so that by the time we actually reach a stage where we're about to shoot, he's very comfortable and he knows what's going on, and nothing's a surprise. We're like, surprise camera, interview, that kind of thing. So that's sort of where we are at this stage of production for the documentary, and I will be giving you guys updates as we go along. Also, I have a new social media account called Black Ice, White Sand Doc, and you can find it on Facebook, on Instagram, and is it worth putting on TikTok? I'm not sure. I'll see. And this is where we have all the information specifically about the documentary. If you're watching this on my personal page, on my personal filmmaking page, then that's because I sort of have information about my projects in general, this documentary plus other films that I'm sort of in the mix, interested in, working on. And the other platform, Black Ice, White Sand Doc, is a separate page. We'll only have information about the documentary itself. So if you're more interested in the documentary and you just want to follow updates on the documentary itself, feel free to go check out the page and follow those pages. I'll put the links in the description below. And if you want to follow me for general film stuff that I am a Fijian filmmaker in Fiji, I'm working on, plus Black Ice, White Sand, then like and subscribe. I get to say that on my page. Cheers.